had a lot of fun at the Christmas special. We also had a couple questions that people emailed in that were, we didn't actually, we got to them, but like the audio was still kind of funky, so we kind of want to redo those.
So we did want to re-answer those questions real quick. And there were 3. If there were more questions that people sent in, we're sorry we missed them. It was a bit of a madhouse, but we'll get to that. We will get to them. But the first question was from Astrid H. And hello if you're watching.
Hi, Astrid.
Astrid asked, I'd love to hear the top 3 movies that got Emalie and Kevin so interested in movies. The formative films that shaped how they ended up at Scarecrow. I'm always curious about this with people who love movies and have great taste. Thank you. So I can add movies to my watch list. I don't know that any of our movies were not already on your watch list or even seen, but... do you
want me to do all 3 of mine at once?
Do all 3 of them, yeah, go. Go. Like 1, 2, 3.
La Dolce Vita was probably my first one, because I didn't really start getting super into, like... I mean, obviously I watched movies, but like getting into like intentionally watching movies until college. And La Dolce Vita was one that was shown in my film class that kept being shown in different film classes, and it was like one of the only ones that I wasn't like, oh God, we're watching this again. It was more like, oh, this is like every shot of this movie is beautiful, like the Trevi fountain scene, everything like that. It makes me just think like, oh God, I love cinema. I've never seen it on the big screen. I really want to.
I would love to.
I remember one year SIF had a compilation in their trailer for one of the festivals, and they showed the Trevi fountain scene, and so that was like, I saw it up on the big screen and I like immediately teared up. And then probably another aspect of my like film vibe now is the Alien movies were the first movies that made me think about gender in film and looking at a movie through a feminist lens.
Which one's your favorite?
Probably 2. But I love the first 2, obviously. But I also like all of them. Like, people who are like, the third one and the fourth one are bad. They're all just like they're great, and they're also such reflections of each director that does them, I feel like.
Nice.
And then third movie, what did I say my third movie was?
You know what? It was quite a night. I don't remember.
It was Say Anything.
Oh, yeah.
Because it like showed me that I was super into like, and I watched that when I was really young, like probably like 11 or 12, and I just got super into like hangout, slacker, rom-com type vibe.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't want to sell anything, buy anything, or process anything as a career. I don't want to sell anything bought or processed, or buy anything sold or processed, or process anything sold, bought, or processed, or repair anything sold, bought, or processed. You know, as a career, I don't want to do that.
Your 3 movies.
I can't remember what I said the other day, but I mean, the big one is Pulp Fiction.
Oh yeah, you said that one.
I think that's like not something that people haven't seen, so I don't know if that's something you're going to add to your watch list. These are all going to be kind of.
But if you haven't seen them, that's cool too.
But if you haven't seen Pulp Fiction, get on it. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's a classic for a reason. I was really getting into movies from like Spielberg, and so I think before that it was like Jurassic Park, and kind of was the one that like, whoa. But like Pulp Fiction was the first one I saw where I was like, oh, movies can be like this. Plus I'd seen Reservoir Dogs like on video right before that, and that kind of got me obsessed with movies, and that kind of
also Pulp Fiction is such a like, here's a fucking platter. Here's like a feast of a bunch of random shit that you're gonna really like.
Yeah, and it like I remember seeing in the theater the first time, and when it was like the nobody move or I'll fucking now I can't. I don't know why I don't have a mouth.
Everybody be cool, this is a robbery!
Any of you fucking pricks move! And I'll execute every motherfucking last one of you!
And the giant like cheese, the letters. It was like my brain exploded. I think something popped in my brain, so it might have made me dumber. Since. I don't know. It certainly put me on a path to movie obsession.
Yeah.
And then just learning more about Tarantino and learning, oh, this is where this is from, and then kind of.
Oh yeah, all his influences. It's the same thing
Yeah.
like we were talking about with Scorsese, like you know, just seeing all these different influences and
Yeah.
recommendations from directors like that. You just want to gobble it up.
And not even yep. Tarantino, I would consider probably like my favorite. One of the biggest film teachers in my life. It feels like he's excited about movies.
Yeah, have
and he
you
wants
heard
you to
him?
learn about like good movies, bad movies.
Right.
It's all movies to him, which is totally the spirit of Scarecrow Video.
You listen to Pure Cinema Pod, right?
Oh yeah, I love
Yeah, you listen to his episodes where he's been on there like
yeah.
talking. Yeah, good shit.
Of course
good
I do.
Shit.
Shout out to the Pure Cinema guys if you're watching.
Yeah, hi guys.
I was just listening to you today. I said this one on our live stream. Our Insta live stream.
Our live stream of the live
Our
stream.
emergency Instagram live stream was JFK.
Oh, yeah.
Which was before I was really into movies, but I was going to movies, and I saw that when I was younger than I probably was able to understand most of the stuff in JFK.
Kill him. I got cancer. I've had it for years. I've been working with Mike, trying to find a cure.
Did you ever work for the CIA?
You make it sound like some remote fucking experience in ancient history. Man, you don't leave the agency. Once you're in, they got you for life.
Shaw?
Shaw's an untouchable, highest clearance. Shaw, Oswald, the Cubans, all agency.
About Ruby.
Oliver Stone is one. He's a formative filmmaker for me too. I think just his stuff is so like movies, and I think I've fallen off of loving Oliver Stone because his movies kind of aren't great after a certain point.
Yeah,
but
I think
that
I've seen a
90s period,
toss-up of newer ones and older ones,
Yeah.
so I can't make a decision.
But I mean, Natural Born Killers, which came out right around the same time as
That's
Pulp Fiction,
Natural
is
Born
also
Killers.
was also a mind-blowing movie for me. So that and
That movie's
JFK
wild.
kind of in tandem, but they're both very similarly edited in a way where it's like the sensation of what's happening is kind of more the point than
Yeah.
whatever is actually happening. To go with your pick, my third one is probably Richard Linklater's Slacker.
Man, there was this book I just read on well, it was my dream, so I guess I wrote it or something. But man, it was bizarre. It was like the premise for this whole book was that every thought you have creates its own reality. It's like every choice or decision you make, the thing you choose not to do fractions off and becomes its own reality.
And Linklater is one of my favorite filmmakers, and Slacker was a movie where I saw it and went like, oh, you can. That was the first movie I saw that was kind of like a movie about nothing.
Right.
Where you can make a movie that's just about
People hanging out
and not doing anything.
Right.
And that's compelling enough.
Right.
But
That's like when I saw Noah Baumbach's Kicking and Screaming, which is one of my favorite movies ever.
Yeah, another
Same-
good hangout movie.
Same feeling.
And I recommend to everybody, if you're a Linklater fan and you have access to the Criterion edition of Slacker, there's his first feature that he made called "You Can't Learn to Plow by Reading Books," which was him just traveling around the country with his 16 millimeter camera and just filming himself doing stuff, and it's even more non-narrative than Slacker. It's sort of just it's a lot. There's really not even any dialogue. It's just him sort of hanging out, and I love it.
Yeah.
I watch Slacker once a year, and every year I watch the first one too, and it's good, it's fun, but there's a commentary track on it. I suggest you watch it with the commentary because the movie itself is sort of just it's like a feature-length student film.
Yeah.
But his commentary track on it is really good because he talks about, and here's how I shot this, here's how, because he was just leaving his camera on a tripod, and there's a scene where he's at a bus stop and there's this girl sleeping next to him, and he leaves a note for her and leaves. And he's like, I actually left that note for her because I was catching my bus, and that was sort of one of the inspirations for the Before movies, is that he met this girl at this bus stop and they never reconnected, and he always thought, whatever happened to her? What if we did, or what if that kind of, because they spent the night together, kind of not in the exact same way, but in a similar way, they were just met and hung out. And anyway,
If you need a good romantic movie to watch and you're sick of people being The Notebook, which The Notebook's fine, watch the Before trilogy.
and I wouldn't even say The Notebook's fine, but I will recommend the Before trilogy.
But also, I guess Before trilogy, don't watch it with don't watch it with a partner though. Watch it by yourself.
Well, yeah, maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe, or watch it with
No, don't.
All right, so that answers that question. Thanks for the question.
Thanks.
The next one is from Cody Downs, who, hi Cody. He's also a huge fan of my podcast, Suspense is Killing Us. So you said you didn't really have a good answer for this one, but
yeah, I don't
but
pay attention.
But it doesn't have to be 4K. It's like Blu-ray also. Or
But
like
it's
so.
like I only started choosing Blu-ray. I only got a Blu-ray player like 2 years ago, and I
cool.
still watch things on DVD and I don't care about it.
Well, he asks, what is your
Sorry,
dream
Cody.
title that you'd like to see get a full-blown 4K or Blu-ray special edition release? And he says, for me, it's Dick Tracy and Rocketeer and the remaining catalog of Kieslowski. One of the things I would love to see on Blu-ray is actually like a lot of the shit that's streaming on like Netflix.
Yeah,
Like,
let's get that. Like I'm behind
Like,
that.
I'm not even kidding. Like, a lot of those movies are movies I would love to see get like a physical Blu-ray release because, and not, I like that Criterion's partnered with them, and I love the Roma and the Irishman Blu-rays, Marriage Story, and that's cool. But like, there's other movies on there that are also there's actually. I mean, they have a lot of content. Particularly one. This action movie called The Night Comes for Us.
I don't know.
Right?
I don't think
Is that the right title, Rich?
Yes, it is.
Okay. It's by, I don't know if it's any of the guys who made The Raid.
It's everyone who made The Raid except the director of The Raid.
Okay, it's everyone, like Rich said, it's everyone who made The Raid except for the director of The Raid. In my opinion, is better than The Raid. I wish that had like a full-blown Blu-ray release because I think it's one of the best action movies of the decade.
There are also like a lot, I feel like I've come across a lot of like lower budget independent films on streaming sites where they don't have a physical release because it's just easier to get it out on like, especially like Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
To just like put your movie out and then I'll be surprised that it doesn't have a DVD that I can borrow or rent.
I think it opens up a different market. For those movies too, and I would actually be giving Netflix some money if they released their movies on Blu-ray.
Do you remember getting like rental by mail DVDs from Netflix?
I never did.
Did you ever do that?
I've worked here for my entire life, so I never did that. My sort of Viva physical media pick would be to pillage some of my favorite movies from this year, like Palm Springs. I would love to see like on a Blu-ray,
yeah.
not even special edition, just like a physical release.
Yeah, there was a lot when I was going through trying to come up with some sort of list of DVD releases for this year that I liked, it was very hard because I feel like I watched a lot of old stuff this year. Yeah. But there was some stuff I liked that was just streaming stuff, and it was disappointing.
What would you say, Rich? Do you have a pick?
This question.
The John Pay's movie, Crime Wave.
Fucking awesome movie. One of the weirder movies. I'm gonna do that on one of these shows for sure.
Okay, well I'm saying the movie Promudos, Lord of Darkness.
Absolutely, yes.
I would like a 4K Criterion Blu-ray of that. Any like DIY like practical effects movies from years ago. I think didn't you tweet something about the early Peter Jackson stuff earlier today?
I did, yeah. Well, Peter Jackson has said he's been working on like these 4K and Blu-ray releases of like his early stuff for like a long time, and he keeps saying like we're working on them, and which would be awesome. My tweet was about how I'm concerned that
how it's gonna look.
Oh, I'm concerned that Peter Jackson will pull a George Lucas and only release them in like high frame rate 4K Blu-rays, and so they'll look awful.
Oh yeah.
Because he's going back and redoing the Lord of the Rings movies with that nonsense. But anyway, stop it with the high frame rate. It looks like fucking shit. I don't know why Ang Lee and him are so adamant about it, but they must have put a lot of money into it or something because it looks like the worst thing ever. Anyway. So don't do that, but I would love to see those Peter Jackson movies in Blu-ray too. Those are awesome. And I think the third question. Oh, so thanks, Cody.
Thanks, Cody. Sorry. Sorry for my non-answer.
I think the third question was from Douglas Browning, and he asked. I think he was just asking what our favorite Ridley Scott movies were.
Oh.
Which was.
No, he was asking what our favorite Tony Scott movies
and he said True Romance, and that's I think that's both our answers.
It's great.
It's True Romance, but then my second would be probably Days of Thunder, and then Matt was on our Insta and he said Revenge with Kevin Costner, which everybody should check out.
I haven't seen that one.
It's good. The theatrical
check it
cut
out.
only, not the director's cut.
So a new thing we're doing, if you do have questions for us, or if you just want to chat, or if you want us to answer your questions on air, or like just read your email on air, we have an email address now. It's Viva, V-I-V-A, @scarecrow.com. So shoot us an email, send us a letter, let us know what's up. An electronic letter. Let us know what's up. Ask us questions. We'll read them on air if they're appropriate, but maybe if they're not, depending on our mood.
Well, we'll have a after hours for the inappropriate questions.
Yeah.
After dark.
Where we'll drink like a little more.
I don't know yet. It's already kind
Come
of.
on, this is after hours.
Right. Okay,
but
fair
yeah,
enough.
send us an email, even if you don't have a question, even if you just want to say hi or.
Yeah, or again, if you want to send us, if you have, if
Send
you
us
know,
gifts.
send us
It's almost
gifts.
Christmas.
Send us gifts for sure. Send us, pictures of your video store or whatever. Again,
Yeah.
send us any info about that. Oh, speaking of which, on one of our accounts, I guess someone sent for, I can't remember your video store name now. Someone else who works here told me this, so I apologize. But if you're watching, let us know in the comments. But they sent a thing saying "Ba weep grana weep ninny bon," which is the universal greeting from Transformers the movie, which I talked about in an earlier episode.
That's
So to you I say
adorable.
back, "Ba weep grana weep ninny bon," and then also till all are one.
Ba weep grana weep ninny bon.
Ba weep grana weep ninny bong.
Ba weep grana weep